Well, you know, they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But what if it's in muffin form?
You know, that's a great question. Why don't we ask the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man? Who is the Muffin Man?
I am
Do you
today's
know the
Muffin
Man?
I know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man.
I love it. I love it. So we are obviously making muffins with apples?
Yes, with apples. And this is a really interesting recipe because it's a combination of things that you may have around the house and you would never really think to combine, but once you do, it's like, what? Where have you been all my life?
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so it's so easy that I can do it, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
You're going to help me out.
All right.
What we're going to start with is we're going to start with cinnamon rolls that you get in the in the rolls in the can.
Little Pillsbury things.
Yeah, these are the grands, which are the big ones.
Oh yeah.
So these work better because it'll make a bigger cup for us.
Okay.
To hold our apples. So what you're going to do is I've set you up with some parchment paper and the rolls.
Okay.
And this keeps them from sticking. If you put parchment paper on top, and then you're going to roll those to about a ½ inch thickness.
Oh, okay.
So you'll see they're a little. It's a little tough to do.
Okay.
And what this does is we flatten them out a little bit, and then we're going to use them, like I said, in our muffin pan. And while Lisa's doing that, I've already magically through television greased of the pan already, which is very important to do because you don't want your muffins to get stuck in the pan. There's nothing worse than digging those out. So make sure you put a little bit of grease in there, do a little spray, and we're good to go.
What do you think of that thickness? Maybe a little more?
That's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Okay. All right. This is not easy.
It's not actually, and it's probably easier if you did one by one.
Yeah.
But if you're doing that, I mean, once you get a couple good to go there, then we can kind of lay those in.
Okay. Well, I've got 3.
And while you're doing that too, I'm also be working on the topping, which is just as good as the rest of the muffin.
Oh,
actually,
really?
I know there's a lot of people who think that the muffin top is even better than your average muffin.
Right.
And this will not disappoint without a doubt. So as you're doing that, I'm going to put these ingredients in. The top is it's a basic streusel topping. It is a ½ cup of flour that we put in. We put in a ¼ cup of brown sugar, which is important. That gives it a little bit more of that, well, it just goes well with apple pie, doesn't it, brown sugar?
It does, yes.
And then there's an ½ cup of sugar, regular sugar that you put in there. And then the other ingredient is butter. Now, when you're making a streusel, there'll be a lot of people that tell you that you need to put the butter in cold, which is a pain to kind of chop up. So I always heat it up because you know me, I'm all about convenience and making it easy. So I do melt it and I put it in, and I do find that the melted butter gives it a different consistency when you're looking at the top. You want it to be more of a crumb. Right.
Crumbly, yeah.
I was trying to explain this to Betty, who works up front, because she's quite the baker.
Oh, yeah.
And she was saying, make sure you put the butter in cold. I said, oh, no, I'm putting it in warm. You're doing what? But as it turns out, it works out either way, whichever you're more comfortable with. I just find this is a little bit easier, and it does make more of a kind of a crumb cake, more of a crumb ball, if you will.
I do know that if you do use the cold butter, you can use like a biscuit. What are they called? The biscuit cutter thing?
Yeah, or a pastry cutter. You can use that something
yeah,
to
that
kind
helps
of
a little
dice
bit,
it up.
But why complicate it, right?
Again, I'm all about convenience,
always,
whatever's easier. So now our crumbs are done. You've got those ironed out, flattened out.
Yeah.
And I gave you a spatula because I don't know if you're going to be able. You might have to scoop it up. And you want to be careful here because the cinnamon rolls, you know how they are rolled together. So they could come apart, but we want to make sure that they remain sealed in the pan because that's what's going to hold all of our apple filling. So, yep, just like that. And then this is the fun part. You get to use your hands like it's clay and kind of mold it in there.
I'm going to have you do that.
Oh, yeah, me do that?
I'm so afraid I'm going to ruin it.
Oh, no. You really can't go wrong at this point. Now you're just stuffing it in there.
Oh, okay.
But then make sure you keep some on the outsides because that's going to be what becomes your muffin top.
Okay.
There we go. So just like that. And again, just make sure that all those little parts of the cinnamon roll are actually connected. And that way the filling won't leak out. So you did a great job with that one.
I'm going to put that there.
All right.
All right. Or could it just go like this?
Well, you could do that. Sure, whatever.
Wow.
I try to keep them apart only because these will expand when they are in the oven. And next thing you know, they're kind of moving in on each other's territory, and it's terrible to get apart. So once you get these all together, once you start making your cups, and then we'll put the filling in. Now the filling, again, I'm all about convenience. I got a can of apple pie filling from the store, which is easy enough. Or you can make your own filling. You can dice your own apples and you can boil them down and cook them if you want and put them right in there. It's really as much effort as you want to put into it as possible. But I remember when I was cooking for my kids, whenever I'm doing desserts and stuff, it's all about making them fast so that the kids can eat them because they're all standing around.
I know how they feel.
Yeah. So what we do, once we get these cups made, now Lisa, you can do this with the spoon. You can put in the apples.
Okay.
And you want to fill it just to the brim, maybe a little bit lower, because you want to make room for all the crumbs.
Oh, yeah.
If you put too much in, the crumbs will fall off the top. So.
And that's crumbs you won't get to eat.
Yes, right. So once we put those in there, and then what you're going to do is you preheat your oven to 400 degrees, and easy enough, you put them in there for 20 minutes, and they are done.
Wow, this would be a great, like, Christmas morning breakfast.
Right, and it's the kind of thing you can actually pre-make this part at night, and if you want to put it in the morning, you just drop it right in there,
Oh,
so
that's
it's easy
probably
enough.
too much there. All right, we got to shove this one in there.
Oh yeah, we didn't get that one in there, did we?
It's okay, we got
Easy
it.
enough.
Yep, easy peasy. Here we go. Where'd you find this recipe?
This one, I cannot lie. I found this one online.
On the internet?
Yeah, I was just scrolling around and I said, what's this guy doing with cinnamon rolls? Oh, apple pie. And so my eyes lit up and I watched it and I'm like, I can make that.
All right. So now it's time for the crumbs. I'm going to grab a towel
So we put the crumbs on, and again, I like to go generous with the crumbs because I think this
Yeah.
is one of the most fun parts of it. And you can see they kind of made literally like a crumb cake. I'll let you do a couple of those
Okay.
while I fix my mess over here. But this is really, you know, if you've ever had crumb cake or if you've ever had a muffin that's got a great top on it, it is just, what goes better with a cup of coffee than crumbs and crumb cakes, or in this case, apple pie.
There we go.
There we go.
And that is
So
great.
then it's a matter of, like I said, sticking it in the oven, 400 degrees, 20 minutes, and they are done.
All right.
So we're going to do that, and we're going to take a break, and then we're going to put the secret finishing touch on
There's
it.
more?
There's a little bit more as well.
Oh, okay. Stick around. We're going to find out what that secret touch is when DelmarvaLife comes back. Well, you probably know by now, we like to say that Steve Monz is an award-winning chef whenever he's in the DelmarvaLife kitchen, but today we've been calling him the Muffin Man.
That's right.
That's because he's showing us how to make apple pie cinnamon roll muffins. And when we last saw you, we put them in the oven, and we have taken them out of the oven. They were in there for how long?
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
At 400 degrees. It's very important, actually, to let them sit. Like you're very tempted to just dive in, but the apple pie filling will be like lava.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be, ah!
Yeah,
So
if you value the roof of your mouth and your tongue and everything,
Absolutely.
then let them sit. Okay, so a secret ingredient you were teasing before. What is that?
Yes, you know how cinnamon rolls always come with that icing on top. Don't throw that away. That is actually going to go on top of these.
Oh.
So I'm going to let you be the drizzle queen and put that on there for us.
Okay.
And again, you can put as much on or as little as you like. And the other thing I suggested during the break to Lisa that maybe you could do it with ice cream. And she goes, well, why can't you do it with both? I'm like,
I mean,
brilliant.
fair question. Yeah. Don't make me choose.
But really, apple pie a la mode is one of life's greatest
It
things.
really
so,
is. It really is. Now, are you one of the guys who likes apple pie with cheese?
I do not.
I'm afraid to try it.
I don't know if I've ever heard of that.
Yeah,
Is it-
people
that's a
put
thing?
a slice of cheese on their apple pie.
Okay.
I haven't tried it myself, but everyone who I know who's tried it swears by it. But we're not putting any cheese
No.
on our
Not
apple
today.
pie muffins today. Look, I'm gonna measure this out.
I'm impressed.
Perfectly.
Most people will go heavy early on and you've run out by the time you get to the end, but I think you've got
might have. This last one's probably not. This is for the people who don't want as much.
as much.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe that's a buttercream icing too, by
Is
the way.
it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Not that we needed any more sweetness in it, but
All right. Well, there you go. Can we cut it in half so we can see the inside?
yeah, that was. Let's hope that it's. Let's see if I can do that. Oh, and don't worry if it falls apart. This is not the kind of muffin you eat with your hands. It's more of a fork.
It
but
still
you can
tastes
see.
the same. Oh my gosh.
It's hard to see that, but the apple pie and the you can see the
There you
cinnamon
go.
roll in there.
Oh yeah. You know what? Since you mentioned a fork, I'm going to grab a couple forks
Yeah,
here.
especially if you have the ice cream, you kind of need to,
Oh, yeah.
to do it that way.
This with ice cream and a cup of coffee. Mm-hmm. Heaven.
It's
Heaven.
a home run.
It really is. All right, here we go.
So it's, yeah, there's no such thing as a small bite on this one, I think. Oh, wow.
Steve.
It's that combination of the crumbs and the apple and the cinnamon. You can't go wrong. You really can't.
You can't. Now I know. I've always known why you're an award-winning chef. But you're just proving it time and time again.
But you know what? These are things, and this is why I like cooking this way, because it's things that every person can make. You can do this at home. You can get these items. You're familiar with all of these. And so there's nothing scary, and it's fun. And it's fun to combine items that maybe you wouldn't have thought of combining before. Like I wouldn't have ever thought putting anything with a cinnamon roll.
Right.
So.
It's so easy. And you don't have to tell people how easy it is. Just make them.
Right. Because it looks like, oh my gosh, where'd you get these? At a store? Or did you get these at a bakery?
Right, right.
You can take all the accolades that go with it.
Oh my goodness. All right, Steve, thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to keep eating. Oh, one more thing I'm supposed to ask you. You have a fundraiser coming up.
I do, yes. Very near and dear to my heart, Special Olympics. I do the polar bear plunge every year. And the plunge is in February, but we're doing some fundraisers leading up to it to raise money. And our good friend Joe at the Shrimp Boat heard that I wanted to do a fundraiser, and he said, come on out next Wednesday, October 2nd, and I'll give you 10% of all sales, lunch and dinner. I'm like, what? Like, I loved Joe before. I love him even more now. So we're going to be heading out there, and I'll be there all day. And if you want to come on by and say hi, and 10% of everything that you order is going to go to help out the cause for Special Olympics.
So you get lunch there and you get dinner there.
Right. Have lunch, stick around, talk with me for a little while, then have dinner.
That sounds like a good plan. What day is it again?
Wednesday, October 2nd, which is a week from tomorrow.
A week from tomorrow, Wednesday, October 2nd, the Shrimp Boat on 611 in West Ocean City. Thank you so much.